Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab where I do what I do for you. We got some good stuff going on. I see the guy on a certain commercial. You gonna learn something today. Trust me, if you pay attention. Let's go. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinkers Way of Life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, and that's what I'm on, is to have all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to my yacht, be true. We talking about now, woo-wee, like my message, you're going to learn something today. Title is Neberdjer, spelled Neberdjer. Neberdjer, that's Amun Ra Ptah, the transcendental self and what we call the sacred trinity of God. See this guy right here? Seen him before? That's called, my man would say, he's suited and booted. That's the Neberdjer. We call him the all-encompassing because he had all the attributes that God has. Okay, all in one person. You see, he got the staff, he got the ankh in there, he got the wasp, he got everything, the plumes on his head, the horns, he got it going on, the scary body, the men phallus. He is the all-encompassing. That's a lesson in itself. Just break it down, all this stuff he got. But that's the whole concept. So let's talk about him right quick. This is gonna be. I got another picture for you. This is the Adult Show, fellas, sisters. So to be interested. But since I don't have many of y'all, pass the word. He doing some porn. No, it ain't. It's just making a point. Let's go. There are several trinities in the ancient Egyptian mythology, each conveying a special message through the symbolic references and the relationships of the symbols. Again, we got to watch the headdress because it means something. He has all the attributes. That's why he's all encompassing. The Trinity of Ra, Nut, and Geb. You know who that is? That's Ra when he brought Geb the earth and Nut to cover him. He told Shu, separate them. Why? Because there's a love embrace. You know the story, but that's the concept. That's a trinity. It wasn't the first. It's just a trinity. There are many. Now that trinity represents three basic principles. Again, these gods are principles. We give them identity. They're not real people. Hope you understand that. Now, these are principles. Watch it. Represent three basic principles of what? Of physical existence, which is what? Spirit, God, supreme being, heaven and earth. Ra, God, Geb, earth, Nut, heaven. All physical. That's what we're trying to show you. And is what? One of the oldest forms of this concept to be found where? in the dynastic period of ancient Egyptian history. As the evolution of the exposition of the Supreme Being progressed, starting to catch on, it elicits its elucidation through what? The medium of theology. There we go. And mystical philosophy. That's what we're talking about. Was what? Refined. We're starting to fine tune it, so to speak. And this refinement, which occurred, you want to know when? Over a period of 5,000 to 10,000 years. And what happened? Led to the teachings of the Asarian Trinity, of which is who? Asar, Aset, and Haru, me and you. And those of the Neberdjer, which is the Trinity of Amun, Ra, Ptah. I'm going to break that down for you in 1 minute. In the early history, there were no iconographical depictions of, they said Neberdjer. We say God. They call him the Neberdjer, Supreme Being, all-encompassing. But we, modern times, say God. We didn't use the word God. He was Netter. Okay, understand that. He, she. He, she is what Haru was called. Why? Because he's either male or female. He's both. In the next page, I'm going to break that down for you too. This is about to get interesting. You're going to learn something today. I love that. That's the truth. So watch this. Now, he, she was considered as being the transcendent, of the form and concept in what the late period of the Commission history. The image is encompassing all of the attributes, I showed you that, of God, and all other gods and goddesses appear in what? This one form of what? Composite, all-encompassing divine image containing all the attributes of divinity. We call it divinity, y'all call it God. Same concept, just different word uses, but that's the whole point. He had everything going on. The Neberdjer, he's called the all-encompassing divinity. Again, this is what he looks like. He ready, okay? He ain't missing nothing. He got everything. So let's break it down as you go. This is the best part for this. The ancient Egyptian Trinity, which was composed of Amun, hidden, Ra, seen, Ptah, created, self, physical, was formerly known, watch this, as Neberdjer. Everything is Amun, Ra, Ptah. 3 in 1. I was 1, I became 3. The following passage, I'm going to read this right this, is a hymn to what? Amun. Sums up the ancient Egyptian understanding of what? Of the great Trinity. Concept, again, in creation and that which what? Transcends it. Let's talk about it. He whose name is hidden. Amen. At every prayer, you give him thanks. Ra belongeth to him as what? Seen, face. Okay. And Ptah, which is self-created, physical form, what? He's the body. So you got Amen, which is what's hidden, the mind, the consciousness is hidden inside our body, so it's unseen. Then you got Amen is hidden, Ra is seen, and Ptah is manifested. Yeah, sorry about that. But when you got the 3 in 1 and they break it down to you, then you have their cities, meaning named after them. I showed you the flag to break down. Each flag had its own city, and you got their cities are what? Established on earth. How long? Forever. How long? Forever. How long is that? A long ass time. Now, you got Waset, Anu, and Hekapatah. Those are 3 places that worship. Waset had Amun, Anu had Ra, Hekapatah had Ptah. That's how it breaks down. So let me give you some more information. I think this is good stuff. Now, the statement above is another example of what? Netterian correlative theological statement. What? A statement that links theological traditions that outwardly appear to be what? different and separate. But in the passages above, we not only learn that the three main theological traditions are linked and organizations of their connection, but also that the gods of the Egyptian Trinity of Amun, Ra, Ptah arise from what? The nameless supreme being known as, you ready? Neberdjer or Netter. We call him Pa Netter or Netteru. Netteru means more than one. Yeah, he's three now. He became one, he went to three. In the divinity which expresses the three aspects, there you go. Thus, in the Egyptian system of gods and goddesses, we also have what? Female aspects. And for Amun, he have Aminet. When you see a T at the end of the name, that's the determinative of what? Being female. Okay? Men don't have T's at the end of their name. Moving on, just a little tidbit there. All right? So you got Aminet, Amun's other half. You got Ra'et, R-A-I-T. That's Ra's counterpart, female. And Ptah got, Sekhmet. You know about her. She's the bad girl in her own rights. Okay, so and she represents power. Now, as their consorts to Amun, Ra, Ptah, they got the female. They represent what? Their dynamic power of manifestation with equanimity, male and female aspects working together for the common good, the whole. Okay, in the creation story, the Asarian mysteries, Asar assumes the role of Capria, and Tim. Tim is the original god that started it all out in the name of Ra. You call him Ra Tim or Tim Ra. Tim, Sumtem, however you want to spell it. While at the same time giving insight into what? The nature of who? Neberdjer. We're going to break some more stuff down for you, breaking it down. Neberdjer saith, what he said. I am the creator of what has come into being, and I myself came into being. Got to get good. Here you go. Under the form of the god Caprio, the scarab, beetle, okay? And I came into being where, in the primeval time, I had union with my hand, fellas, women too, okay? That's self-pleasure. How about that? Masturbation. Let's go. Let's keep it real. We all grown people here. I'm about to show you a nice little picture. It's gonna freak you out. I'm just preparing you. All right. If you ain't ready for this, it's gonna freak you out. But I can justify it. There you go. It's all part of the lesson. So let's go. I sent forth. Excuse me. No, he said I embraced my shadow. First, no, I had union with my hand, and I embraced my shadow. And what? A love embrace. Love yourself. You got nobody to love. Love yourself. I ain't mad at that. And what he do? I poured seed into my mouth. What seed? You really want to know? Fellas, okay? That's how you pour seed in your mouth. That's a yoga move from Tantra Yoga. Okay? What? if you think why think the Greeks are so mad with us? If they could do that, they wouldn't leave the house. The women, y'all have a problem. Why? They won't have no use for y'all. Okay, but the point is, this is how you pour seed in your mouth. I'm gonna break it down for you. Let's go. Now that you got past that, we can move on. And I poured seed into my own mouth. I ain't pouring seed into my mouth. I just want to let you know that before we get started. And I sent forth from myself issue in the form of the God's air, which is shu, and tufnut, which is moisture. Okay, rainwater, moist air. But dry air was the brave, moist air that had the water come from above. Okay, rainwater. I came into being in the form of Capria, again, the scarab beetle. And I was the creator of what came into being. I formed myself out of the primeval matter, the noon, and I formed myself in what? In primeval matter. My name is, you ready? Asar. That's the spirit that came into man. From this mythological story, that's who Asar is. He represents God in the flesh. Sound familiar? Now, you see the Neberdjer right here? He represented by a man sitting down. Okay. See the definition of Neberdjer? Those are the signs for the Neberdjer. Okay. Those are the hieroglyphic writings for the spelling of Neberdjer. I don't really get into that, but that's what it looked like. So now let me read you some more stuff from Neberdjer Speaks. Okay. I was alone, for the gods and the goddesses were not yet born. He's by himself. And I had emitted from myself. I had emitted from myself neither shoe nor tough nut at this point in time, but I brought into my own mouth, Heka, the divine words of power. That means he's going to speak something into existence. But after he planted the seed, watch this, and I forthwith came into being under the form of things, which were created, what? Under the form of Capria, the scarab god. And now this passage also points out the fact that what? That while the name of the Supreme Being under the different priesthoods appears to be different, and we know that Allah, Yahovah, okay, we got that, no problem. But there are merely names for what? For different expressions of the same principles and teachings which present additional complementary what? Wisdom about who? The divine, aka God. So therefore, there is no separation. These are again correlative theological statements. They are again, correlative theological statements. Here also linking who? Neberdjer to who? Asar. Spirit Neberdjer, physical form Asar. And more importantly, the last passage reminds us that all of the names and forms are merely what? Outward expressions of the same supreme being, aka Neberdjer, in its physical manifestation. That's who Asar represents. Now, Neberdjer, as previously discussed, is what? Is a name which what? Signifies who? The all-encompassing, that meaning of the collective members of said Trinity. Neberdjer includes all male and female aspects. Ding, 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 ding. When he seeded seed in his mouth, he became female and came impregnated himself. That's what the concept is telling you. And watch this. He is male and female aspect of the Trinity and is therefore to be understood as what? Androgynous and primordial being from which arose all names and forms, all gods and goddesses, all creation, and all opposites, aka Maya, duality, in creation, male and female, hot, cold, etc. You get it? That's what Maya represents. Balance and duality, opposites. In the passage above, from the Anuian theology may be termed correlative theological statements, but these are statements that correlate what? The main divinities and unequivocally what? Show them to be manifestations of what? Other divinities where within the same tradition and even within other main traditions of Neteru religion. Correlative theological statements are found in the four main Neterian traditions, which we're doing now. the Anuian, the Wasetian, the Memphirian, and the Asarian. Okay? Right now, we're doing the Anuian. That's the one where Ra is king. And also the Asarian, Ra is top billing also. So watch this. They all correlate, and they all correlate the main divinities of the traditions to each other. They all tie in. We tell you that. Now, this is the picture they show you in the museum. Okay? Now, let's talk about it a little more in depth. I'm breaking it down for you. This is wrapping it up. I see the time. I got just enough time. This is the picture in the papyrus of number 10018 in the British Museum. Now, in the creation story involving the Saurian mystery, Asar assumes the role of Capria and Tim, the Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. Tim is the end, Capri the beginning. He says again, I was alone, for the gods and goddesses were not yet born. I had emitted from myself neither shoe nor tough knot. I brought into my own mouth Heka, and our forthright came into being under the form of the things which we created under the form of Capria, scarab beetle. The important passage, an iconograph above which explains and illustrates what? The majestic vision of tantric philosophy and the Neberdjer spirituality. That's a move that if you pull it off, you bad man, you flexible as all get up. Okay? It's a tantric move. I don't do the physical part. I don't do none of the stretches. No, I go to the gym every day. I got my own routine. I don't do the yoga, stretching and bending. That's tantra yoga. It's based on what? Physical and sexual energy that they teach you how to work with. Here, he's impregnating himself. So I can tell you, that's what it is. That's how he's showing you. He's putting the seed in his own mouth. Moving on. I hope you get the concept. Now, it's important. The passage explained, illustrated image. Okay, now, for far from sexual vulgarity, some people might say, oh man, no, it's far from sexual vulgarity. That's I'm cleaning it up for you. The teachings reveals what? Secrets about the nature of the divine self. In this previous passage, we had I poured seed into my own mouth. That's explaining it. A picture worth 1,000 words, and that's what that's saying. And Heka, this juxtaposition of seed, of what? And Heka is profound understanding of the creative potential of the word, thought, and consciousness, aka Paut, the stuff of matter, or what we call substance, out of which creation is created. The cerebral spinal fluid, that stuff that goes up and comes back down, talked about that before too. But that's the life force giver. That's sperm. Okay, that gives life. And he gave life from himself to procreate. That's a bad somebody. Okay, and that's the other concept. I'm still freaking out because I understand it. If you do, then you're right thinking. You're starting to catch on. And what happens? It means that the Neberdjer impregnated himself with what? With word that is vibration, at once making him what? An androgynous being, as well as the source, which is the matter of what? Her own creation. So from the all comes the all. Ain't that bad? Everything comes from the one God and is composed of God. So to all is what? Divine. We are divine spiritual beings. Why? We're of God. That makes us divine. And divine to all is divine. All exists in what? The divine. And all is rooted in divine. We as humans, we have consciousness. We have to recognize and become conscious of what? Who we are, aka the divinity in us. See where we going with this? I'm wrapping it up because I got another lesson coming up, but this is about to end this one. I got another one coming. I ain't done. All right. And let's talk about this right quick. Neberdjer has what? A female aspect also. Called, you ready? Neberdjer. Neberdjert. Neberdjer. Again, with the T makes it feminine. So there we go. Neberdjert may be thought of, watch this, as a goddess, just like Het Haru. But in reality, Neberdjer and Neberdjer are what? All one encompassing divinity. This is also the name of the eye of Haru. That's the spirit that's in me and you. That's the lesson. And in closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you passed away. And you know, I'll be back. I got more.